And today's article comes from Games Radar and is entitled Assassin's Creed actor and Metroidvania dev slams out-of-touch execs chasing the live service dragon. Quote, "Too much money is being spent on games people do not want." He said, quote, "If you're going to pitch me your AA game, and in the first 2 pages of your deck is your monetization and revenue subscription scheme, I'm out. Your first page has to be, quote, this game needs to be made and here's why. I want to see that fire. I don't want to see, here's the chief accountant on the team that's going to explain to you this game's monetization." Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to the Hard Light Network. Alrighty, everybody, today we are talking about a problem that I've personally noticed cropping up throughout gaming in the last few years. And if you've already seen the last video on the major problem that is affecting the Halo franchise, you might have already guessed what it is. That, or you were just paying attention to the title. But of course, I am talking about the major problem of live service gaming that's affecting the industry at large right now. And while this push towards the live service model is primarily being made by greedy corporate executives in the industry, there are some devs who see the problem and its negative impact on the greater gaming culture. It's not all bad, and it's good to see that there's actually a little bit of light at the end of this live service tunnel. But of course, before we get into it, guys, if you want to support this channel, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content we have coming up. And if you want to go that extra mile, there is a super thanks option down below. Thank you guys for checking out my channel, and let's get into the video. And of course, what sort of gaming news video would this be without an article with an incredibly long title? And today's article comes from Games Radar and is entitled Assassin's Creed actor and Metroidvania dev slams out-of-touch execs chasing the live service dragon. Quote, "Too much money is being spent on games people do not want." Assassin's Creed actor and Metroidvania director Abu Bakr Salim says, quote, "Too much money is being spent on games people do not want by figures who are not in touch with the medium and are chasing the next live service hit." Speaking with Dexerto, Salim, who stars in House of the Dragon Season 2, played Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins, and last year released indie Metroidvania Tales of Kenzera Zhao, suggested the process of making his own game had made me have a much deeper appreciation for developers and the work that goes into it. However, he also suggested that the process had opened his eyes to the fact that games are still very much treated as a business rather than necessarily as an art form. That approach, he says, is why a lot of these big game publishers and companies are going for the games as a service model. They want to try and recreate the next Fortnite because it's going to make them more money. Games shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be about money. It should be about expression. First of all, I gotta say, it's encouraging to hear another industry insider confirming what I've said in my last few videos. The thing is, though, it's not even that live service games themselves are the problem, it's this mindset behind chasing this live service dragon, as he put it. As he said, these developers are not actually motivated to create these live service titles to tell some sort of story or to create a piece of art, but rather they're motivated by the commercial success of other live service titles such as Fortnite. However, I will say that his little platitude about games not being about money but expression is total cap. What I actually have a problem with is these sleazy, underhanded tactics to get $1 out of the customer, like selling a $10 pallet swap or a pay-to-win strategy. My success or failure in a game, especially in a multiplayer game, should not be dependent on what I'm willing to spend past the purchase price. I have zero problem with developers making money, and in fact, I actually want good developers to make as much money as possible. Developers are running a business and they need to keep the lights on, but I think it's undeniable that the runaway success of certain live service games has led to a flooding of the market of absolute trash products. The best live service games all bring something unique to the table, and the worst live service games are all copycats. Even while recording this video, I'm getting ads for games that are just carbon copies of Fortnite. Whether we're talking about World of Warcraft's ever-evolving campaigns and massive community, Fortnite's never-ending crossover universe, or Warframe's unique gameplay experience, each one of these franchises makes a unique contribution to the gaming landscape. And short of straight up ripping off the content of these OGs, there's no way that the copycats are ever going to stand up to them. Anyway, let's get back to this article. Following up on those comments on Twitter, Salim said that, quote, "Too much money is being spent on games that people do not want. The chase for the next big Fortnite, he says, means that there are drivers in the industry who are not in touch with the medium and desire to make the next big game as a service. Salim's comments certainly ring true around several high-profile live service flops in recent years. The biggest of those was PlayStation's Concord, which shuttered after just 14 days despite reports that the project's budget stretched well into 9 figures. Elsewhere, Suicide Squad, Killed the Justice League, and Redfall were both examples of live service pivots from traditionally single-player studios that were critical and commercial failures. Which just goes to show you how tempting these live service success stories are to these companies, given that they're willing to spend millions of dollars on a product that may be defunct within a year or two of its release. But it isn't just artistic types like Abu Bakr Salim that are talking about this issue plaguing the game industry. Former PlayStation CEO and president Sean Layden says that there's a collapse of creativity in the games industry. As we can read in this MSN article, quote, taking to the stage at Gamescom Asia, Layden said, "Today, the entry cost for making a AAA game is in the triple-digit millions now. I think naturally, risk tolerance drops, and you're looking at sequels, you're looking at copycats, because the finance guys who draw the line say, well, if Fortnite made this much money in this amount of time, my Fortnite knockoff can make this amount of money in that amount of time." We're seeing the collapse of creativity in games today with studio consolidation and the high cost of production. The executive, who now serves as the strategic advisor at Tencent Games, added, "AA is gone," which he said was a threat to the ecosystem. Even so, Layden insisted AA games like Helldivers 2 are capable of bringing, quote, the new thing to the industry, though emphasized cheaper titles needed to implement more modern and different monetization methods if they wanted to be successful. He said, quote, "If you're going to pitch me your AA game, and in the first 2 pages of your deck is your monetization and revenue subscription scheme, I'm out. Your first page has to be, quote, this game needs to be made and here's why. I want to see that fire. I don't want to see, here's the chief accountant on the team that's going to explain to you this game's monetization." And to tell you the truth, guys, I think we're pretty bad off whenever industry executives are also calling out the Fortnitification of games as a whole. There's also a little bit of a stuck culture argument to be made when it comes to the gaming industry, but I'll save that for its own video. For now, it's most important that we know that we aren't alone in our criticisms, and it's actually very encouraging to hear that even industry insiders are starting to recognize the problem. And maybe it's just my personal bias towards these types of games, but personally, I wouldn't have a problem seeing less live service games in favor of more non-live titles. And I guess I would like to start owning my games again too, but I guess that's not going to happen anytime soon. Anyway, to conclude this video, I would like to just say that I don't think that this live service model as a whole is sustainable for the industry at large. I honestly feel like the commercial failures of titles like Concord and even Halo Infinite will eventually push these franchises back in a more profitable and stable direction. Until then, just like with these issues with digital ownership, we need to start punishing these companies with our wallet. As tempting as a follow-up title from your favorite franchise might be, I think that if we continue to buy these crappy games at increased prices, the situation will only get worse. As a lifelong gamer and consumer of these products, what I personally want to see is renewed interest in this medium, as well as a renaissance in gaming overall. And as my kids are rapidly reaching the age where they can appreciate video games, it can't happen soon enough in my opinion. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to support this channel, please do not forget to comment what you think down below, and also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the content we've got coming up in the future. Also, guys, if you have a topic you would like me to discuss in any one of these videos, feel free to drop it down below, and as always, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, and until next time, love you guys, safe travels.